So in the last video, I have showed you how to install Kubernetes cluster in your local environment using Kind. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can deploy your own application in this Kubernetes cluster. So let's start this video. So I am going to clone my existing application. So it's a Angular CRUD application. It's a simple Angular CRUD. And I'm going to clone it at first. And now I will open it in Visual Studio Code. So you can see this is the source code, and this source code contains source folder and Docker file and the manifest file. This one is for Kubernetes. So I have Dockerized this application already, and I have pushed this Docker image to my Docker Hub account. So if you have any issues with Dockerizing this source code, or if you need any help, then you can see my previous videos. I have showed how you can actually Dockerize your own application. But in this video, I'm only focusing on Kubernetes, like how to deploy your application in Kubernetes. So I will just show the Kubernetes manifest files here. So you can see here we have 3 manifest files, and the first one is deployment, second one is service, and third one is ingress. So here we will not use ingress. We will actually expose our application using notebook, and we will actually access this application using IP and notebook. So this one is the deployment, and here you can see the kind is deployment, the name of the deployment. This one is the replicas, like how many replicas you need. Suppose you have 2 replicas, then your application have 2 pods or 2 containers, but here we are using only 1. And this one is a spec. Suppose what will be the name of your container and the image name. So I'm using my existing image that I have mentioned here. This one is image pool policy. So image pool policy will actually keep your container always on. It will actually keep your container always on, because if you have any issues, it will automatically restart the application, then it will bring it back again. But some issues cannot be solved, then it will actually restart your applications in every minutes or every defined minutes actually. So it will actually start your applications to make it live again. But if you don't want to restart the application frequently, then you can make it never. But for the high availability purpose or safety purpose, it's always. So if you have any temporary issues in your applications or in your application pod, it will restart again, and then it will bring it back online. And this one is ports. The container port is 80, and this one is the service. So service is actually exposing your application to certain ports. So here we are using cluster IP. So there are different kinds of services like cluster IP, node port, load balancer. So cluster IP will actually create a IP for you, IPv4 for your application, and node port will create a node port, and the load balancer will actually create a public IP address or DNS address. But load balancer is for actually cloud for cloud providers. Suppose you are using AWS, EKS or AKS, it will create a load balancer address for you so that you can just copy and paste the address to access your application. But here we are using local, as we are using local environment, we'll actually use node port. And let's deploy our application. So if you are running your application, you just need to modify this image name because I'm using my own image. You can actually modify your deployment name. Here I'm using Angular. So after this deployment, I will also show you how you can deploy Python application, so you should have better understanding. So I'm using kubectl apply -f because we are using file deployment YML, and you can see it's created. Let's check it, and you can see web client Angular code, it's running, and the age is 6 seconds. That means I have deployed it now, and we need to deploy the service because without deploying service we cannot actually access the application, because this service file will expose our application to this notebook. And we have deployed the service as well. Let's check the service, and we can see this one is our service. And node port, here node port, you can see node port is 31953. that means we need to actually access this node port. But the question is, what is the IP address, right? So we have this format, IP node port, but we need to find the IP address because we are using kind cluster. So kind cluster has a node. We need to actually check the nodes to get the IP address, and we should use this command void because this will actually show the IP address of the node. So here we can see the node IP address is this one. So we need to go to the browser, and we also need the node port. And you can see we can access our application. So it's just a name, and you can see the application is working, and we can also edit it. And also delete. Okay, deleted successfully. So it's actually doing all of the functionalities of CRUD application, like create, read, update, delete. So this application has been deployed successfully in the Kubernetes cluster. And now let's deploy our Python application. So I'm going to my GitHub repo. Just so this is the Python first Docker application, and we have the deployment. So this deployment file contains both service and the deployment. So we can clone it. And we have opened it in the Visual Studio Code. So as you can see, I have already dockerized it and pushed this Docker image to my repository, I mean Docker registry. So I don't need to create the Docker image again. So this is the Docker file. So I'm going to deploy. Okay, so I think it's already deployed. Let's check the service. So you can see plus service, right? And the node port is 31.937. Let's copy it and paste here. So the IP will be same. So you can see Python class is running from Kubernetes. So this is the sample Python application, and we can see our Python application is also running as well, like our Angular application. So I have showed you how you can deploy your application. It can be any applications in Kubernetes. So this is the process that you should follow, and here I have showed how to deploy it in local environment, and I hope in next videos I will try to show you how you can deploy it in clouds like AWS or Azure. So thanks for watching this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.